Welcome back to the Deep Dives, where we sift through stacks of information to bring you the essential insights you need. Today, we're embarking on an incredibly flavorful and entrepreneurial journey, the art and science of selling fruit spreads at farmers markets. We've gathered a fantastic collection of sources that act as the comprehensive tutorial, really, guiding anyone interested in transforming a passion for preserves into a thriving market stall. Our mission, to arm you with a clear roadmap, whether you're just dreaming of your first batch or maybe you're already stirring up a storm.
Yeah, it's fascinating, how these sources go beyond just listing what to do. They really dive deep into the how and the why for every crucial step, from navigating those complex legal landscapes to genuinely engaging with your customers. We're going to dissect this complete guide together, making sure you gain not just knowledge, but actionable confidence.
Absolutely. Think of this as your accelerated path, your shortcut, maybe, to launching a successful fruit spread business right there at your local farmer's market. We'll explore everything from perfecting your delicious recipes and understanding local regulations to mastering your market day setup and, yeah, planning for robust long-term growth. So if you've ever imagined sharing your unique creations with your community, this deep dive is definitely designed specifically for you. Okay, let's begin by laying the groundwork. Let's explore why farmers markets offer such a vibrant space for fruit spreads and how to articulate your personal vision, because it's much more than simply showing up with a few jars and a smile, isn't it?
Oh, totally. It's a complete ecosystem, really. What's truly compelling about farmers markets is that opportunity for direct, immediate customer interaction. And this isn't just about making a sale, it's invaluable for gathering real-time feedback, fostering genuine connections, and ultimately building some fierce customer loyalty. You get to connect your product directly to its origins, often showcasing local ingredients, and that narrative, well, it truly resonates with today's consumers. It really does. It's an ideal environment for developing your brand's personality and getting those instant reactions to new flavors you might be, experimenting with.
Right. So when we talk about laying this foundation, a significant part of that involves clearly defining your goals. Like, are you just seeking a little supplemental income, or is this maybe the launch pad for your next big career adventure?
Precisely. The sources consistently emphasize that having absolute clarity on your objectives from the very outset helps shape every single subsequent decision you'll make. For instance, if your primary aim is side income, you're likely seeking a flexible way to earn supplemental cash without overwhelming your existing commitments. The benefits here are pretty compelling. Relatively low overhead, meaning you're not sinking a huge amount of capital up front, and it affords you the perfect opportunity to test the waters. You can dip your toe in without a full, all-consuming commitment, maybe starting by using your home kitchen and allowing your time commitment to, ebb and flow with your personal schedule.
That sounds like a wonderfully accessible way to begin. High potential reward with sort of managed risk. But what if your aspirations stretch a bit further?
Well, if you're thinking bigger, you're likely envisioning a sustainable business. This implies a venture designed to provide maybe a living wage, ensure steady growth, and potentially evolve into your primary income source over time. This particular goal demands a much more robust and structured planning approach right from day one. You'd be thinking proactively about, say, commercial kitchen space, developing more structured marketing campaigns, and charting a clearer, more detailed financial roadmap. Because, quite simply, your livelihood will depend on its success.
And what about those folks who dream of seeing their delicious spreads gracing the shelves of specialty stores, not just their market stall?
That ambition leads directly to considering wholesale operations. If your goal is to supply larger quantities to other businesses, just imagine your spreads in charming local cafes, artisan bakeries, or gourmet food shops. This significantly shifts your operational focus right from the start. From day one, you'll be prioritizing scalable production capacity and efficient distribution strategies. This means planning for consistent, larger batches, developing professional and compliant labeling suitable for retail, and likely establishing a more formal business structure to manage those B2B sales and accounts.
So it quickly becomes about more than just the fruit spread itself. It's about the entire entrepreneurial ecosystem surrounding it, isn't it?
Exactly. And finally, some entrepreneurs might even be envisioning broader brand expansion. This is where your vision extends beyond just fruit spreads. You might dream of building a comprehensive food brand, potentially introducing future product lines like savory preserves, unique pickled vegetables, or even artisanal baking mixes that, perfectly complement your spreads. This forward-thinking approach will heavily influence your early branding and marketing decisions, ensuring your brand name and logo are versatile enough to encompass a wider, evolving range of culinary creations.
Okay, so once you've clarified your objectives, how do you actually gauge your progress? How do you determine if you're truly succeeding? Our sources really dig into key success metrics for just that.
Absolutely. One of the first critical indicators emphasized is sales per market. This metric helps you quickly understand your market efficiency. Like, how many jars are you realistically moving during an average market day? What's the average transaction value per customer? Consistently tracking this is crucial for assessing your market fit. Are you positioned in the right geographical or demographic space? And it provides vital feedback on the effectiveness of your booth setup and your sales techniques. If sales per market are consistently lower than expected, it immediately highlights an area, well, ripe for improvement.
That makes intuitive sense, but it's not solely about those one-time sales, is it? You're really striving for customers who return again and again.
That's a crucial distinction. Yeah, it prompts the question. How do you measure that invaluable customer loyalty? The sources highlight repeat customer rate as another vital metric. Loyal customers are, without a doubt, the very bedrock of sustainable growth for any small business, like the absolute foundation. This metric provides a direct reflection of your product quality, the excellence of your customer service, and the overall appeal and sort of magnetic pull of your brand. If customers are consistently coming back, it's a really strong signal that you're cultivating something truly special.
And of course, at the end of the day, you need to ensure the business is financially sound. You got to make money, right?
That brings us directly to profit margin. This metric goes beyond just your top-line revenue. It's about truly understanding the difference between the money you bring in and your actual profit after all your costs, ingredients, labor, market fees, packaging have been meticulously accounted for. A healthy profit margin is absolutely essential for long-term viability, for providing yourself with a living wage, and for generating the necessary funds for reinvestment back into the business, whether that's for new equipment, higher quality ingredients, or expanding your marketing reach.
So ultimately, the clarity of your initial vision isn't just like a good idea. It's the invisible compass that steers every single ingredient choice, every marketing dollar, and every jar sold. It ensures your passion builds a future, not just a fleeting hobby.
Okay, now with that clear vision in mind, let's pivot to the really essential stuff, the rules and regulations. Legal compliance isn't merely a hurdle to clear, it's like the bedrock of your entire business. Getting this right from day one is paramount. It protects you, your customers, and the integrity of your brand.
Yeah, and a huge piece of this regulatory puzzle often revolves around cottage food laws. Lots of aspiring food entrepreneurs hear about these, but what exactly do they entail for someone making fruit spreads at home?
Right. Cottage food laws were specifically designed to enable small-scale food producers to make certain types of, well, low-risk food products, like fruit preserves, directly in their home kitchens and sell them to consumers. The aim is to bypass some of the extensive licensing and inspection requirements that apply to full-blown commercial facilities. However, what is absolutely critical to grasp is their profoundly state-specific nature. These laws vary dramatically by state and sometimes even by county or municipality. You must, and I really can't emphasize this enough, research the specific regulations for your jurisdiction. Never ever assume what's permissible in one state will be acceptable in another.
Okay, so generally speaking, though, are fruit spreads typically included under these laws? Is that usually okay?
Yes. Thankfully, fruit spreads are almost universally among the permitted products under most cottage food laws. This is primarily due to their intrinsic properties, high acidity and high sugar content, which makes them inherently low risk for foodborne pathogens such as Clostridium botulinum. That's the bacteria responsible for botulism. Yeah. So unlike high-risk items that demand strict refrigeration or specific temperature controls, properly made fruit spreads are typically shelf-stable, making them ideal candidates for home-based cottage food operations.
That's certainly a relief for home cooks with those delicious family recipes. But where exactly can you produce these items? Still just the home kitchen.
Well, that's another crucial aspect, the production location. You need to confirm whether home kitchen production is explicitly allowed for fruit spreads in your specific area. Some jurisdictions permit it with specific requirements on kitchen setup and sanitation, while others, particularly as you scale or for certain product types, might mandate the use of a certified commercial kitchen right from the outset. Understanding these rules protects you from, compliance issues down the line.
And are there limits, like limits to how much you can actually sell if you're operating under these cottage food laws?
Often, yes. Many cottage food laws impose annual sales revenue caps. These caps can range significantly, from maybe a few $1,000s to tens of thousands, depending on the state. It's absolutely crucial to diligently track your sales throughout the year. As you approach that cap, you'll need to plan for a transition, perhaps moving to a commercial kitchen or formalizing your business structure to operate beyond those limits. Having a clear sort of exit strategy for your cottage food status is a really wise business move.
Got it. Beyond these cottage food specifics, what other official paperwork do aspiring jam makers need to tackle? There's always more paperwork, right?
Always. You'll definitely encounter permits and licenses. The foundational step is almost always business registration. This could be as straightforward as operating as a sole proprietorship, which is often the default for individual entrepreneurs. Alternatively, you might choose to register as a limited liability company, LLC, for enhanced personal liability protection, or simply register a DBA, doing business A's, name if you're a sole proprietor operating under a brand name different from your legal name. Formalizing your business entity provides crucial legal and financial clarity.
And the ever-present subject of taxes.
Always. You will undoubtedly need a sales tax permit. This is your official authorization and, importantly, your obligation to collect sales tax on behalf of the state and offer local governments for the products you sell. It's imperative to understand how to apply for one, determine the specific sales tax rate applicable to your products in your area, because some food items can sometimes be exempt under certain circumstances, and know your remittance schedule. How frequently you need to send that collected tax money to the authorities.
Okay. And what about the market itself? Do they have their own specific requirements separate from the state or county?
Absolutely. Many individual farmers markets, or the local municipalities that host them, require their own market vendor permit for you to operate a stall. This is distinct from your general business registration or sales tax permit, and is specific to each location where you intend to sell. So, yeah, potentially more forms.
Right. Now, the health department. That sounds a bit daunting for a small producer. What should one expect there?
It doesn't have to be intimidating, but it's undeniably vital. Health department rules are primarily in place for consumer safety and public health. A pretty much universal requirement is a food handler card for anyone involved in handling food for sale. This typically involves completing a short course and passing an exam, often obtainable through convenient online courses or directly via your local health department. It just demonstrates a fundamental understanding of food safety principles.
Will the health department actually inspect your kitchen, especially if it's your home? Is that something that happens?
They might, yeah. Depending on your state's cottage food laws, or if you're operating from a commercial kitchen, you need to be prepared for potential inspections. Common areas of focus during an inspection include rigorous sanitation practices, effective pest control measures, proper ingredient storage, and sometimes detailed temperature logs for any ingredients or products requiring specific environmental conditions. The overarching goal is always to ensure a safe and hygienic environment for all food production.
So it really all circles back to having an approved production location, whether that's home or commercial.
Precisely. It's a constant reinforcement of the importance of producing food in a facility that consistently meets health code standards, whether that's a designated area of your home kitchen that complies with cottage food regulations or a fully certified commercial kitchen.
And the farmers market itself will likely have rules that go beyond local and state laws, correct? Things specific just to them.
Oh, absolutely. Market-specific rules and contracts are paramount and often quite stringent. These frequently include strict arrival times and deadlines for booth setup completion, as farmers markets operate on really tight schedules. Adherence is crucial for maintaining your spot and, frankly, your good standing with the market manager. You'll also need to be aware of and follow their rules for breakdown and exit.
I often see some pretty impressive tents at markets. Are there specific requirements for those? Because some look pretty serious.
Most definitely. There are almost always specific tent requirements, often mandating a standard 10 by 10 canopy, and frequently requiring that the material itself be fire retardant. And crucially, weights are absolutely unequivocally essential for safety and wind. We cannot overstate this enough. We've all seen those videos, right? Unweighted tents can become incredibly dangerous projectiles in even moderate breezes. You will typically need a minimum of 25–50 pounds per leg securely anchored for adequate safety.
And what about protecting yourself financially if, despite all your diligence, something unforeseen happens, like a customer issue?
Markets almost universally demand insurance. Proof of liability insurance. Often, they will require the market organization itself to be named as an additional insured on your policy. This provision protects them in the event that a customer claims injury or illness resulting from a product purchased at your stall.
Okay, speaking of potential claims, what kind of information is legally mandated to appear on the jar label itself? That little space has to do a lot of work.
It really does. Labeling requirements and disclaimers are both extensive and critically important. You'll need to include specific mandatory information such as the net weight of the product, a comprehensive ingredient list presented in descending order by weight, clear allergen statements, for
Yeah.
example, contains tree nuts, if applicable, and your manufacturer's name and full contact information. Transparency and accuracy here are absolutely key.
Do small producers typically need to include full nutritional information, like the whole panel?
Nutritional information generally becomes required only at higher sales volumes, or if you make specific health claims about your product, such as low sugar or high fiber. For most small cottage food operations just starting out, it's not usually an immediate necessity, but it's important to be aware of when those requirements might kick in as your business grows.
And those disclaimers you sometimes see about being made in a home kitchen, are those required?
Yes, many cottage food laws specifically mandate certain disclaimers on your label, such as made in a home kitchen not inspected by the Department of Health, or similar phrasing. It's designed to inform consumers about the production environment.
And that liability insurance you mentioned earlier, why is it so fundamental to your operation? Seems like a big expense up front.
It is your vital financial safety net. Liability insurance provides crucial protection against potential lawsuits from customers due to alleged foodborne illness or injury related to your product. Imagine if someone claimed they got sick from your jam. This insurance helps cover legal fees and potential settlements, safeguarding your personal and business assets. It's crucial protection. And as we discussed, the market-required endorsements are specific clauses or additions to your policy that name the market as an interested party, offering them protection as well. This is almost universally a prerequisite for vending.
You know, it's interesting because getting this legal and safety compliance wrong, well, it can shut your dreams down before they even have a chance to blossom, right? It's really about protecting not just your business, but your customers and your reputation, establishing that rock-solid foundation of trust and legality.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so with that clear vision and legal groundwork understood, let's shift our focus. Let's get into the creative canvas of your business, how you present yourself, ensuring your fruit spreads are not just delicious, but consistently safe. After all, being a great cook is one thing, being a safe food producer is, well, another entirely crucial layer.
Consider this. Your customer's trust is like a fragile jar, isn't it? One misstep in food safety, and that jar shatters irrevocably, taking years of delicious effort with it. It's the silent, non-negotiable pact you make with every single sale.
Absolutely. So, beyond the delightful taste, how do you ensure that every single jar maintains identical flavor and texture and is just as safe as the last one? That consistency is key.
Yeah, how do you nail that consistency?
The crucial first step is to standardize recipes and maintain meticulous batch documentation. Consistency is paramount, not only for taste and texture, but more importantly for safety across all batches. This demands precise measurements for every ingredient. No, a little bit of this and a dash of that improvisation, tempting as it might be. You'll need detailed batch records for each production run. These logs should include exact ingredients and their quantities, precise production dates, crucial cooking temperatures, and critically, those pH readings we mentioned. You should also note any deviations from your standard recipe. These records are invaluable for traceability if there's ever a product issue, and they are essential for troubleshooting if a batch doesn't quite meet your standards.
That sounds incredibly detailed. But you mentioned pH readings again. What exactly is pH, and why is it such a cornerstone for fruit spreads? It sounds a bit like high school chemistry.
It is a bit, but it's foundational here. pH refers to the acidity or alkalinity scale, ranging from 0, most acidic, to 14, most alkaline, with 7 being neutral. For fruit spreads, their inherently high acidity is absolutely critical because it actively inhibits the growth of harmful bacteria, most notably Clostridium botulinum, which, as we said, causes botulism. Most safe fruit spreads require a pH level that is typically below 4.6. Getting that number right is vital.
Okay, so how does a small producer actually test for pH? Do you need a lab coat?
Not necessarily a lab coat. It's more straightforward than it sounds with the right tools. You can test your spreads using a pH meter, which offers the most accurate readings. It's vital to learn how to calibrate it properly and use the correct technique for testing your preserves. That's key. Alternatively, pH strips can provide a general indication, though they are less precise. Good for a quick check, maybe, but the meter is better for documentation. When testing, remember that fruit solids can influence your reading. For the most accurate pH, especially in a thick spread, it's often best to blend a small representative sample before dipping your calibrated meter. This ensures you're measuring the total acidity. The overarching goal is to consistently achieve that target pH level to guarantee shelf stability.
And what exactly does shelf stability mean for my jars of jam? Like, how long can they really sit there?
Right. Shelf stability refers to a product's inherent ability to be stored safely at room temperature for an extended period without spoiling. For fruit spreads, this crucial safety characteristic is achieved through a synergy of factors: proper pH, adequate sugar content, and effective canning methods, typically a hot water bath, which creates that vacuum seal in the jar. These combined factors actively inhibit microbial growth, ensuring your product remains safe outside of refrigeration.
How do you determine a reasonable best before date for your creations then? Is it just a guess?
Not a guess, no. You'll establish expiration dating or best before labeling based on your own internal testing, standard industry best practices, and potentially lab verification if needed or required. Best before dates generally relate to product quality, indicating when the product is at its peak flavor and texture. Expiration dates, by contrast, are more typically about safety. For properly canned, high-acid fruit spreads, best before dates are more common, often ranging from, say, 12–18 months. But these should always be informed by your own thorough testing and shelf life studies. Don't just pick a number.
What about allergens? That's a huge concern for so many consumers today. How do you manage that risk?
Oh, absolutely. Allergen control and cross-contact prevention are paramount, not just for compliance, but for consumer safety. It's huge. You need to be acutely aware of the big 9 common allergens: milk, eggs, peanuts, tree nuts, soy, wheat, fish, shellfish, and sesame. If your products contain any of these, or even if you process them in the same facility, you must implement robust prevention strategies. This includes things like dedicated equipment for allergen-containing products, rigorous cleaning and sanitization protocols between batches, carefully scheduling production to avoid cross-contact, like always making nut-free jams first, and clear, accurate labeling on every single jar. No ambiguity.
Do small producers really need a full-blown food safety plan like the massive food corporations have? It seems like overkill, maybe.
Well, you likely won't need the immense complexity of a large-scale operation. A basic food safety plan, often referred to as HACCP Lite, that's Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Points, is highly recommended and in some cases legally required. HACCP is basically a systematic, preventative approach to identifying and controlling food safety hazards. For a small producer, key components would include Sanitation Standard Operating Procedures, SSOPs. These are detailed written instructions for exactly how you clean and sanitize all equipment and your production facility. Like for your jam pots, it's not just wash and rinse, but wash with an X cleaner at Y temperature for Z minutes, then rinse thoroughly, then sanitize with A solution for B seconds. Documenting these small steps creates a huge safety net. Of course, your batch records are critical for ingredient traceability. And traceability itself is the ability to track ingredients from your supplier all the way to your finished product, and then track those finished products from production to sale. This is absolutely crucial for efficient and effective product recalls, if, heaven forbid, you ever needed one.
Right. And if, despite all precautions, the worst happens, a potential safety issue, you need a plan for that specific moment too. You can't just wing it.
That's undeniably correct. A well-defined recall plan is an essential piece of your food safety puzzle. This is a predefined written process outlining precisely how you will notify customers, efficiently recover affected products from the market, and communicate transparently and promptly with health authorities in the unfortunate event of a safety issue. Having this plan in place means you can act quickly and decisively, minimizing potential harm to consumers and protecting your brand's reputation. It's like having a fire escape plan for your business.
So, okay, if your home kitchen simply can't keep up with demand, or maybe the regulations change in your area, what are the next steps? Where do you go from there?
Yeah, that's a common crossroads. You might need to consider when to transition to a commercial kitchen, or perhaps a co-packer. This shift often happens due to scaling needs, when your production volume organically exceeds what a home kitchen can legally or practically handle. Alternatively, it might be driven by evolving compliance needs if state or local laws require commercial kitchen use for your specific product type, or as your sales volume expands beyond those cottage food limits.
What exactly is a co-packer, and what are the advantages and maybe disadvantages of using one?
Sure. A co-packer is essentially a specialized facility that manufactures and packages products for other food companies. They do the making and jarring for you to your specs. The advantages can be significant. You gain immediate access to their expertise, often highly specialized equipment, and existing certifications, like organic or allergen-free, that can open doors to broader distribution channels. However, there are also challenges, right? Including the increased cost, finding the right co-packer that aligns with your quality standards, and a potential, albeit managed, loss of direct, hands-on control over the production process. It's definitely a trade-off that requires careful consideration.
And sometimes you need external validation for your safety claims, right? Like proof beyond your own tests.
Yes, often. Third-party testing or lab certification might be required in specific states or for entry into certain markets, especially larger retailers. They might demand external lab validation for critical parameters like pH, water activity, or comprehensive shelf stability studies. Even if not legally mandated, the benefits of such testing are substantial. It adds immense credibility to your claims and provides an extra layer of assurance, ensuring compliance beyond your own in-house testing.
So what this all means is, embracing the science of food. It's about ensuring every jar you sell is not only a delight to the palate, but absolutely unequivocally safe for your customers. It's really an investment in your brand's integrity and, most importantly, your customers' well-being. Okay, next up, let's explore a truly compelling aspect for standing out in a bustling market: how you package, label, and visually present your delicious fruit spreads. This is so often the very first impression a customer gets, long before they even twist the lid. It's huge.
Totally. Your packaging is your silent salesperson. It's the visual narrative that tells your story, conveys your brand identity, and communicates the quality of your product before anyone even gets a taste. It's a critical, often underestimated element in enticing customers to just, pick up your jar.
So let's start with the fundamental containers, the jars themselves. What should an aspiring jam maker consider when selecting those glass homes for their product?
Yeah, you'll want to carefully consider jar sizes, appropriate lids, and essential tamper-evident seals. When it comes to popular jar sizes, you typically find common options like maybe 4-ounce, 8-ounce, or 12-ounce jars. These sizes are strategic. They relate directly to perceived value and potential price points. A smaller 4-ounce jar, for instance, might be ideal for a thoughtful gift or for a customer just wanting to sample a new, intriguing flavor. While an 8-ounce or 12-ounce jar is often preferred for everyday household use, offering a variety can wisely cater to different customer needs and budgets. Smart move.
And the lids, I assume they're more than just, like, keeping it closed. They have a technical job.
Oh, absolutely. The specific type of lids you choose, whether they are a two-piece, a band, and a flat lid, like for canning, or one piece, is critically important for ensuring a proper airtight seal. This seal is fundamental to the shelf stability, safety, and longevity of your product. A compromised seal is a compromised product. Simple as that.
And that satisfying pop sound when you open a new jar, that's
Yeah.
related, right?
That's your tamper-evident seal actively at work. And it's crucial for both food safety and building consumer confidence. This could be the safety button on a typical canning lid that audibly indents when properly sealed and then pops up when opened. Or it could be external elements like heat shrink bands that completely encase the lid. It provides a clear assurance to the customer that the product has not been opened or compromised since it left your kitchen. Super important.
Thinking beyond just a single jar, are there ways to elevate the packaging for special occasions or maybe a more premium feel, like for gifts?
Most definitely. Consider creative gift packaging ideas. This goes beyond the individual jar. You could design custom boxes engineered to hold multiple jars, add elegant ribbon or twine for a touch of class, include small, thoughtfully designed recipe tags to inspire customers with new uses, or curate multi-jar sets perfect for holidays, hostess gifts, or special celebrations. This significantly elevates the perceived value of your product, making it a really attractive gifting option.
Let's turn to the label itself. It has to convey so much information, legal stuff, brand stuff, yet still remain visually appealing. That seems like a tough balance.
It is. That's the core challenge of effective label design. Finding the perfect balance between your compelling brand story, all the mandatory legal information, and ensuring absolute readability. You must seamlessly incorporate all legal requirements, the comprehensive ingredient list, net weight, your business's contact information, clear allergen statements, while simultaneously maintaining an attractive and cohesive brand aesthetic. It's a puzzle.
How do you subtly weave in that essential brand story within the label's limited space?
Yeah, you got to utilize the label real estate for effective brand story integration. Subtly highlight your local sourcing, perhaps a small note about the farm where your berries were grown. Emphasize your artisan methods, such as small batch crafted or hand stirred, or hint at the unique inspiration behind a particular flavor. A small, evocative graphic or a brief, impactful line of text can communicate volumes. And regardless of how beautiful your design is, readability is paramount. Ensure that all font sizes and colors are legible, especially for those important legal details which often need to meet specific minimum size requirements by law.
Okay, with multiple batches of product being made, how does one consistently keep track of everything for quality control and inventory? Seems easy to lose track.
That's precisely where batch lot coding for traceability and inventory becomes indispensable. This is a unique identifier assigned to each individual production run. Its purpose is multifaceted. It's essential for accurate inventory tracking, rigorous quality control, and most critically, for efficient product recalls. If, in a rare instance, there's an issue identified with a specific batch, this code allows you to quickly pinpoint and isolate only those affected jars, minimizing broader disruption. It's your internal tracking system.
How does a small producer implement such a coding system? Does it need to be fancy?
Not necessarily, no. You can start with simple, effective methods like hand-stamped codes applied directly to the lid or a small custom sticker. As your business grows and scales, you might transition to more sophisticated systems, like inkjet printing. This code should typically include the production date or the best buy date, which ties directly into shelf stability and helps with stock rotation.
And what about those familiar barcodes you see on pretty much every item in a grocery store? When do you need those?
Right, those are UPC or barcode considerations. If you plan to expand your sales beyond farmers markets and venture into traditional retail stores, a UPC, Universal Product Code, is almost always required. Retailers rely on them for rapid scanning at checkout and for seamless inventory management systems. They need that scannable code. You'll need to understand how to obtain legitimate UPCs, typically through an organization like GS1 US, to ensure they are unique and properly registered for your products. You can't just make one up.
Increasingly, I see consumers actively seeking out environmentally friendly options. Does that translate to fruit spreads? Is that something people look for?
Oh, absolutely. Exploring and integrating eco and sustainability options can deeply align your business with growing consumer values and preferences. It's a major trend. This could involve investigating jars made from recycled glass, opting for compostable labels, or even participating in local jar deposit programs where customers can return clean jars for a small discount or refill. Highlighting these conscious practices can significantly enhance your market appeal and resonate powerfully with an environmentally aware customer base. It's good for the planet and good for business.
So really, your packaging is far more than just a functional container. It's a vital extension of your brand, a compelling part of your sales pitch, and a clear demonstration of your commitment to safety and maybe even sustainability. It's an unmissable opportunity to shine and create an instant connection with your customer before they even twist that lid. Okay, now, let's talk about the bedrock of any successful venture, whether it's a small market stall or a large corporation. The numbers game. Pricing, accounting, and financial planning are absolutely crucial for any business. You can craft the most delicious fruit spread in the world, but if the economics don't align, your passion won't be sustainable for long, right?
This is such a critical point. You can make the best fruit spread on the planet, but if your financials aren't sound, your business simply won't last. Understanding the monetary flow and managing your costs is just as vital as understanding your ingredients and perfecting your recipes. It really is.
So where does one even begin when trying to figure out how much to charge for a jar of artisanal jam? It seems complicated.
You absolutely must start with an accurate cost per unit calculation. This demands a meticulously detailed breakdown of every single expense that goes into producing just one jar of your fruit spread. You'll need to calculate the exact cost of ingredients, not just the fruit and sugar, but pectin, lemon juice, any spices down to the last gram. Get really specific. Tally the total cost for a single batch, then divide that by the number of jars produced to arrive at a precise per jar cost. Then you add the cost of your jars and lids, the individual cost of each jar, its lid, and any tamper-evident seal you employ. Don't forget the labels. The cost of each professionally printed label needs to be factored in.
And what about your time? That's a significant investment, right? Even if you're the sole proprietor, you got to value that.
Absolutely. Labor is a crucial yet frequently overlooked cost. You must factor in your time. Don't forget to pay yourself, even if it's an imputed cost initially, meaning you assign a value to your time even if you don't actually cut yourself a check right away. It's still a cost to the business. Calculate the time spent on ingredient prep, the cooking process itself, jarring, labeling, and even the often forgotten cleanup. This is a very real expense. Beyond that, you'll need to prorate your market fees if a stall costs, say, $60 for a day, and you typically sell 60 jars, that's $1 per jar in market fees you need to account for. Then there's transport fuel costs, vehicle wear and tear, directly related to your market trips. And finally, don't overlook miscellaneous expenses like small equipment purchases, spoons, pots, cleaning supplies, or those inevitable, unexpected costs that inevitably surface in any business. Understanding your true costs is the absolute non-negotiable foundation for profitable pricing. You can't price right if you don't know your costs.
Wow, that's an incredibly comprehensive breakdown. So once you have that precise cost, how do you decide on the actual selling price? Is there a formula?
Not exactly a single formula, but that's where setting your retail price, managing your margins, and understanding psychological pricing come into play. You'll want to aim for healthy target margins, often looking for maybe a 50–70% markup from your cost per unit. This provides sufficient room to cover your overheads, allows for a healthy profit, and generates funds for reinvestment. Next, conduct thorough market research. What are truly similar, artisanal products selling for at your specific market or in local specialty stores? Look around. You don't necessarily want to compete purely on the lowest price. You want to compete on the perceived value and superior quality of your product. Don't undervalue your hard work.
And what's this strategy called psychological pricing? Does that actually work?
It often does. That involves clever strategies like ending prices in 99. So, for example, pricing a jar at $8.99 instead of a flat $9. This subtle difference can make an item feel slightly cheaper and more appealing to the consumer. It's a perception thing. Another effective tactic is tiered pricing for bundles, such as offering 3 jars for $25 instead of selling them individually at $9 each. This encourages larger purchases and offers a perceived discount, increasing your average transaction value.
We touched on sales tax earlier when talking permits. How do you manage that financially on an ongoing basis, keeping track of it all?
Right. Sales tax collection and remittance is an ongoing statutory obligation. You just have to do it. It bears repeating that local rules vary significantly. You absolutely must know your specific sales tax rate and understand which of your products are taxable. Often, prepared food items or non-food items are taxable, while basic groceries might be exempt in some jurisdictions. You need to know for your state and county. You also need to meticulously track all collected sales tax and keep it separate, and ensure you submit it to the appropriate tax authority precisely on schedule, whether that's monthly, quarterly, or annually. Don't mess with the tax authorities.
Good advice. In today's economy, most customers expect to pay with cards, right? What do you need to account for with electronic payments? Those little readers aren't free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That involves POS fees, card reader costs, and thorough reconciliation. You'll likely be using one of the common mobile point-of-sale POS systems like Square or Stripe, which charge transaction fees per swipe, tap, or manual entry. Those fees eat into your margin. There's also the initial upfront cost of the card reader hardware itself. And then, reconciliation is the absolutely critical process of diligently matching your daily sales records, both cash and card transactions, with your actual bank deposits. This is fundamental for accurate bookkeeping, for detecting any discrepancies, and for having a true picture of your financial inflows. Make sure the money actually arrived.
So how does someone keep all these financial details straight without needing, like, a full accounting degree? Seems overwhelming for a small producer.
It can seem that way, but you need to implement simple bookkeeping practices. You really do. This means maintaining accurate sales logs, which can be as simple as a dedicated notebook with columns for date, product sold, quantity, price, and payment method, cash card. Doesn't have to be fancy software at first. You also need consistent inventory tracking so you always know precisely what you have on hand, what's been sold, and what needs to be produced. Prevents running out or making too much. A basic profit and loss P&L statement is a straightforward financial report showing your total revenues, your total costs, and your resulting profit or loss over a specific period, like a month or quarter. And finally, a break-even analysis helps you determine exactly how many jars you need to sell just to cover all your costs. Like, let's say a jar costs you $3 to produce, and your daily market fee is $60. If you sell that jar for $8, you make $5 profit per jar. To cover just your market fee, you'd need to sell 12 jars, $65. That's your absolute minimum target before you even start considering paying yourself or other overheads.
That's really helpful to know that number. And what about planning for the financial future of your business, beyond just breaking even?
Right, that involves proactive cash flow planning and a thoughtful reinvestment strategy. Cash flow is quite simply the movement of money both into and out of your business. You need to anticipate busy sales periods, like holidays or peak fruit season, and slower ones, maybe midwinter, to effectively manage your funds, ensuring you always have enough liquidity. Think of cash flow like a river. You need to know when the rains will come, peak season sales, and when there might be a drought, winter slowdowns, to ensure your business doesn't run dry. It's about ensuring you have enough money in the bank to keep flowing, especially when those bigger fruit orders are due or market fees need paying. Then you'll strategically decide how much of your hard-earned profit to reinvest back into the business, perhaps for new, more efficient equipment, larger ingredient orders to secure better pricing, or expanding your marketing efforts versus how much you will take out as personal income. This is a critical strategic decision for sustainable growth.
It's clear that understanding these numbers isn't just about making money. It's about building an incredibly sustainable foundation for your passion. It allows your delicious fruit spreads to actually thrive and flourish for the long haul, rather than just being a costly hobby. Okay, moving from the financial nuts and bolts, let's explore a truly vibrant aspect of your business, shaping your brand identity and getting the word out about your amazing fruit spreads. In a bustling market, how do you ensure your unique creations captivate customers and don't just get lost in the sea of offerings? How do you stand out?
Yeah, in a crowded market, a strong brand isn't simply a logo or a catchy name. It's really an emotional connection you meticulously build with your customers. It encompasses the entire experience you create around your product, from its visual appeal to the narrative you weave around it. It's the whole package.
So where does an entrepreneur even begin in defining that essential brand? What are the first steps?
You start by meticulously crafting your brand identity, your name, logo, tone, and overall shelf appeal. Your name and logo should be memorable, authentically reflective of your product, and visually appealing. Think about simple, evocative names that hint at the quality, origin, or unique character of your spreads. Make it easy to remember and say. The tone defines the personality of your brand. Is it rustic and wholesome, gourmet and sophisticated, whimsical and fun, or traditional and comforting? This tone will profoundly influence the language you use on your labels, in your social media posts, and how you interact with customers at your booth. Consistency is key. And finally, shelf appeal is paramount. How does your product look on a crowded market table? Does it immediately stand out? Is it visually cohesive with your defined brand identity? Do the colors, fonts, and overall presentation draw the eye and invite closer inspection? Does it make someone stop walking?
That storytelling element feels particularly vital for farmers market customers, doesn't it? They often prioritize knowing the origins of their food.
Oh, absolutely. Storytelling is an incredibly powerful tool for connection. Customers are deeply drawn to authentic narratives, especially in that environment. Highlight your local sourcing. Where did your beautiful fruit come from? Was it harvested from Farmer McGregor's field just down the road? Or from local community gardens? Name names if you can. This resonates profoundly with farmers market customers who actively seek to support local agriculture and sustainable practices. Emphasize seasonal ingredients, showcasing the freshness, peak flavor, and often limited availability of certain flavors, which naturally creates excitement and a sense of urgency. Get it while it lasts. And vividly describe your artisan methods, whether you employ small batch cooking, meticulous hand stirring, or traditional techniques passed down through generations. This unique narrative genuinely differentiates your product from mass-produced alternatives you find in the grocery store.
Once you've crafted that compelling story, how do you effectively communicate it to potential customers? What marketing tools are essential? What do you actually make?
Right, you'll need a suite of effective marketing assets. Professional, eye-catching banners and signage for your booth are an absolute must. They should clearly state your brand name, ideally highlight your key products, and communicate your unique selling propositions at a glance. Make it easy for people walking by to know what you sell. Thoughtfully designed recipe cards are a fantastic way to add tangible value and subtly encourage customers to utilize your spreads beyond just breakfast toast. Suggest creative and unexpected pairings with cheeses, cured meats, or even unique dessert applications. This sparks inspiration and can directly lead to increased purchases because people see how they'll use it.
And in our highly visual world, compelling photos must be incredibly important, right? For online stuff especially.
Without a doubt. High-quality photography, professional-looking images of your beautifully packaged jars, the vibrant, fresh ingredients you use, and even your bustling market booth in action is absolutely essential for your social media presence and any online platforms. These compelling visuals are what immediately grab attention online. People eat with their eyes first. And speaking of online presence, a strong social media strategy involves judiciously choosing relevant platforms, like Instagram for its visual nature, maybe Facebook for local community groups. Consistent posting to keep your audience engaged, actively interacting with followers through comments and messages, and strategically using relevant hashtags, hashtag local food, hashtag farmers market, hashtag your city food, to expand your reach to a wider, interested audience.
What are some proactive, direct strategies you can use right there at the market to engage customers and build a loyal following?
Okay, start by actively building an email list. The profound value of direct communication with your customers cannot be overstated. Having that direct line is gold. Offer enticing incentives for signing up, such as a small discount on their next purchase or access to an exclusive recipe featuring your spreads. Make it worth their while to give you their email. You can then leverage this list for pre-orders, especially for highly popular or seasonal flavors, allowing customers to reserve jars for convenient market pickup. Reduces waste for you, guarantees it for them. For market day promotions, cultivate excitement with limited time offers like buy one, get one free deals or attractive bundle discounts. Make people feel like they're getting a special deal today. And to genuinely encourage repeat business, implement thoughtful loyalty offers such as physical punch cards, e.g. buy 6 jars, get one free, or a simple digital tracking system. Reward those loyal fans.
That strategy sounds fantastic for building a dedicated community around your brand. Can you extend that reach even further by collaborating with others at the market or nearby?
Yes, absolutely. Through strategic collaborations with local vendors, cross-promotions, and participation in community events. Seek out synergy by partnering with other complementary market vendors. Perhaps a local cheese vendor, whose artisanal cheeses pair exquisitely with your jams. Or a bakery for a buy our jam with their freshly baked bread. Cross-promotion. Talk to your neighbors at the market. You should also actively participate in local food festivals, holiday markets, or special tasting events to reach new audiences beyond your regular market crowd, expanding your brand's visibility and appeal. Get out there.
So, your marketing efforts really represent an ongoing dynamic conversation with your customers, don't they? It's about building a vibrant community around your delicious creations, sharing your unique story, and inviting them to become an integral part of your flavorful world. Okay, next, let's unpack the intensely practical side of things. Meticulously setting up your market booth and mastering all the logistical intricacies. This is truly where the rubber meets the road. You might have the most incredible product, but if your physical presence isn't inviting and efficient, you're undoubtedly missing out on significant opportunities.
Totally. Your booth is quite literally your physical storefront for the day. Its presentation profoundly impacts your sales, shapes customer perception, and dictates the overall customer experience. It must be inviting, professional, and crucially, exceptionally functional. It needs to work.
Before you even get to the physical setup, you first have to secure your spot in the market, right? That application process.
Precisely. That crucial initial step involves the market application, the potential jury process, understanding fees, and providing essential insurance proof. You'll need to understand what's typically involved in the application process, which often requires submitting compelling product photos, a detailed business description, and copies of your required permits. Put your best foot forward. Many markets utilize a jury process where they carefully curate their vendors to ensure a diverse, high-quality, and balanced offering. They don't want 10 jam vendors all the same. You'll need to know how to craft an application that truly stands out, powerfully highlighting what makes your fruit spreads unique and desirable. What's your niche? You also need to fully understand the various fees involved: application fees, seasonal fees, or individual per market fees. Budget for these. And as we've repeatedly emphasized, insurance proof is non-negotiable. You'll need to submit up-to-date liability insurance with the market specifically named as an additional insured. They won't let you set up without it.
Now, for the actual physical setup on market day, what are the absolute essentials for creating a successful and inviting booth? Tent, tables.
Right. A high-quality, sturdy tent is standard, typically a 10 by 10 canopy. And crucially, we simply cannot overemphasize the paramount importance of weights. Again, you absolutely need a minimum of 25-50 pounds per leg for unwavering safety in windy conditions. Seriously, don't skimp on weights. Many markets also rigorously require that your tent material be fire retardant. Check their rules. You'll need sturdy, easy-to-clean tables and professional clean tablecloths that ideally drape down to the floor, covering the table legs and any storage underneath to maintain a tidy and polished appearance. Hides the clutter.
How do you make your delicious products visually pop and capture customer attention on that table? Just lining them up seems boring.
Good point. Strategic use of risers and displays is key. Utilizing varying heights immediately creates visual interest and helps highlight your products, making them much more appealing and easier to see. Think levels. Tiered displays, rustic wooden crates, or small, elegant shelves can work wonders. Get creative with it. And do not underestimate the power of lighting, especially if your spot is shady or it's an evening market. Battery-operated LED string lights or task lights can dramatically improve visibility, making your spreads literally sparkle. Finally, your signage must be impeccably clear, legible from a distance, and directly reflective of your brand for product names, prices, and maybe a snippet of your compelling brand story.
It's vital to remember that farmers markets are for everyone, so accessibility is important to consider in your setup too, right?
Indeed. Accessibility, ADA, and safe traffic flow are incredibly important considerations. Ensure there are clear, unobstructed pathways around and within your booth, space for wheelchairs, strollers, and ample room for customers to browse comfortably without feeling rushed or unpleasantly crowded. Don't block the aisles. Think about the strategic placement of your sample station and checkout point to facilitate easy, intuitive movement and minimize bottlenecks, especially when it gets busy.
What about keeping the product itself safe and fresh throughout what can be a long market day, especially in summer heat?
Yeah, that's where meticulous temperature control and storage come in. While many fruit spreads are thankfully shelf-stable, if you happen to sell any complimentary refrigerated items, like fresh fruit for samples or a paired cheese, you'll absolutely need coolers, ice packs, insulated bins, and a solid plan for maintaining the cold chain. More broadly, you need proactive product protection. Consistently keeping jars out of direct sunlight, which can affect color and quality, shielding them from rain, or protecting them from any falling debris is vital to maintain quality and prevent aesthetic damage like label fading or sticky residue.
Okay, what other miscellaneous but essential items should always be included in your comprehensive market day kit? The little things you might forget.
Oh, the little things. A truly comprehensive equipment checklist is absolutely essential. Don't rely on memory. This should include scales, if you're selling anything by weight, clear pricing signage, your full sample station setup, individual cups, spoons, napkins, a small trash bin for disposables, and ample supply of hand sanitizer. Crucial. A larger trash can with fresh bags for customer use, plenty of water for drinking, sunscreen, and a basic first aid kit. For payments, you'll need your fully charged card reader and a secure cash box stocked with sufficient change, lots of small bills and coins.
Simply getting everything to and from the market can be a logistical challenge in itself, can't it? Packing the car, hauling stuff.
It certainly can be. You need a solid transport loading-unloading plan and efficient on-site storage strategy. Develop an efficient, systematic method for packing your vehicle to maximize space and minimize your setup time at the market. Tetra skills help. Be intimately familiar with the market's specific rules for vehicle access and designated loading-unloading areas, which can often be quite strict regarding timing and location. A sturdy dolly or a handcart is an absolute game changer for effortlessly moving heavy boxes and equipment. Save your back. And for on-site storage, utilize durable bins or boxes that fit neatly and discreetly under your tables to store extra inventory, personal items, and supplies, ensuring your booth maintains a clean and professional appearance throughout the day. Keep it tidy.
And if you have help, whether it's volunteers or maybe your first employee, how do you manage them effectively at the market?
Good question. For staffing, if you have volunteers or paid employees, establish clear schedules and define specific cash handling roles to ensure accountability and security. Know who's doing what. Critically, provide thorough volunteer employee hygiene training, emphasizing the absolute importance of clean hands, proper food handling techniques, especially with sampling, and a professional-friendly presentation for anyone representing your brand at the booth. They are the face of your business.
So true. A well-planned and meticulously executed booth setup truly transforms your allocated market space into an inviting, professional, and memorable storefront. This allows you to focus less on the logistical headaches and more on connecting with your valued customers and sharing your passion. Okay, now let's talk about the exciting heart of Market Day. Turning casual browsers into loyal buyers and building lasting relationships through genuine sales, engaging sampling, and authentic customer interaction. This is where you connect directly with your community and truly build your brand's reputation one conversation at a time.
Exactly. What's truly captivating about the farmers market environment is that it offers a prime, unparalleled location for direct customer interaction. This is an incredibly powerful tool for cultivating a loyal customer base. You receive immediate, unvarnished feedback and are presented with the perfect opportunity to share your unique story in person. It's invaluable.
And often, the first step to sparking interest and converting it into a sale is allowing people to taste your creations, right? Sampling seems key, but I know there are strict rules around that.
Oh, absolutely. Adhering to sampling rules and ensuring safe service is paramount. You cannot afford mistakes here. You must rigorously check your market-specific guidelines and your local health department's regulations for sampling. They might differ. These rules often stipulate very specific requirements, such as requiring pre-portioned samples, no communal dips, strictly enforcing no double dipping policies, and detailing how samples should be covered and protected. Always employ the safest practices. Use single-use cups and spoons, ensure anyone serving wears disposable gloves, and utilize sneeze guards or covered containers to protect samples from any airborne contaminants. And of course, ensure your samples are not only safe, but also visually appealing and clearly labeled with the flavor. Make it easy and safe for people to try.
Okay. Once a customer has tasted and is intrigued, how do you effectively close the deal? What are the most effective sales techniques for this environment? It's not like a hard sell, right?
Definitely not a hard sell. This is your moment to shine as both a storyteller and a guide. Leverage powerful storytelling to connect your product to its origins, the quality of its ingredients, or your unique artisan process. You might say, this particular strawberry jam uses berries sourced directly from Farmer Gregor's field, picked just last week at peak ripeness. Make it real. Consider brief, engaging demos that visually illustrate how your spread can be used in versatile ways beyond simple toast, perhaps spreading it on a gourmet cracker with cheese, stirring it into a creamy yogurt, or even suggesting it as a unique glaze for chicken. Show them the possibilities.
That sounds like a wonderful way to inspire creativity in customers. Get them thinking beyond breakfast.
It absolutely does. This prompts the question, how can you actively inspire creativity and culinary adventure in your customers? Suggesting unexpected pairing suggestions is a highly effective technique. For instance, recommend apricot jam with a sharp goat cheese, or a zesty, spicy pepper jelly with soft cream cheese on a bagel. Give them specific ideas. This adds significant value to your product and visually demonstrates its incredible versatility, potentially opening up new usage occasions for customers they hadn't considered. Always look for opportunities to upsell and bundle your products. Encourage larger purchases with enticing offers like buy 3 jars and save, or strategically suggest that a smaller jar makes a perfect gift, while a larger one is ideal for stocking their pantry. Offer those beautifully curated gift sets too.
Beyond the immediate transaction, how do you maintain contact with these valuable customers and cultivate a lasting relationship so they come back next week or next month?
Right, you need proactive strategies for collecting customer data. A simple, visible, physical email sign-up sheet or a digital tablet at your booth is invaluable for capturing emails for future newsletters and promotions. Make it easy to sign up. You could also utilize concise feedback cards, simple prompts asking about their favorite flavors, or inviting suggestions for new ones. This demonstrates that you genuinely value their input and are responsive to their preferences. And strategically placed QR codes can link directly to your website, social media profiles, or a quick, engaging survey, providing an easy digital touchpoint right at the booth for those who prefer that.
And for your most dedicated and loyal customers, your regulars, how do you reward them and encourage continued engagement? Make them feel special.
Yeah, that's where robust loyalty programs, potentially subscription boxes, and wholesale lead capture come into play. Implement a straightforward loyalty program, such as a physical punch card system where, for example, buy 6 jars, get 1 free. Simple and effective. For your most ardent and loyal customers, maybe consider offering exclusive subscription boxes with recurring deliveries of seasonal or limited edition flavors. This generates consistent revenue and fosters deeper brand engagement, though it's a bigger logistical step. And if you're actively looking to grow your wholesale presence, always have a specific form or a clear process for wholesale lead capture ready for interested retailers, cafes, or restaurants to easily inquire about bulk pricing and terms. Be ready when opportunity knocks.
And sometimes, despite your best efforts and impeccable quality, things can go awry, or a customer might just not be entirely satisfied. How do you handle those situations professionally and gracefully?
Yeah, expertly handling complaints, managing returns, and having a clear refund policy is absolutely crucial for maintaining your brand's sterling reputation. How you handle problems says a lot. Have a well-rehearsed plan for how to courteously, empathetically, and efficiently address customer complaints. Listen first. Implement a clearly stated return refund policy, perhaps a satisfaction guaranteed pledge or an exchange-only policy. Make it visible or easy to ask about. Transparency in these matters builds immense customer trust. And crucially, always view complaints as invaluable learning opportunities. They provide direct, actionable feedback that can help you refine your products, improve your processes, and prevent similar issues in the future. Don't get defensive.
So true. Every interaction at the farmer's market is really a golden opportunity to sell not just a delicious jar of jam, but your brand's authentic story and a truly positive, memorable experience that ensures customers return again and again. Okay, let's unpack this next exciting phase. Once you've truly mastered your local farmers market, maybe even a couple of them, how do you strategically grow and expand your reach? It's inspiring to think beyond just one market stall and envision a broader future for your delicious creations. Where do you go next?
Right. Diversification of sales channels is absolutely crucial for long-term business resilience and sustainable growth. Relying solely on one market or even just markets can introduce unnecessary risk. Expanding allows you to tap into new customer segments and smooth out those seasonal fluctuations that are inherent to agricultural products and outdoor markets.
So, after finding success at one market, maybe adding a second, what's the logical next step for expansion beyond that?
Well, you'd typically look at expanding to additional markets first, if that makes sense for your area and capacity. This requires careful strategic selection, choosing new markets that genuinely complement your current ones. Consider factors like different demographics, varying market days of the week, or unique local community vibes, so you're not overextending your resources or directly competing with yourself. The inherent challenge then becomes sophisticated inventory management across multiple venues to prevent frustrating sellouts at one location or costly overstocking at another. As you grow, this often means exploring centralized inventory systems or dedicated management software. It gets complex fast.
What if an entrepreneur wants to venture beyond the markets altogether and into more traditional retail spaces, like seeing their jam on a store shelf?
That exciting leap involves approaching retail buyers, cafes, and specialty stores for wholesale partnerships. This requires preparation. You need to be meticulously prepared with a professional line sheet, which is essentially your product's professional resume for a potential buyer. It's a visually appealing, usually 1 to 2-page document that concisely showcases your product line, complete with mouth-watering photos, compelling descriptions, clear wholesale pricing, minimum order quantities, MOQs, and lead times. It's designed to make your spreads irresistible and easy for a busy buyer to understand and order. When targeting, conduct thorough research to identify stores whose brand aesthetic, customer base, and values truly align with yours. Don't just pitch everyone. And when pitching to buyers, clearly articulate your product's unique selling points. Maybe mention your success at farmers markets to demonstrate demand. You also need to understand the crucial distinction between consignment, where the store pays only after the product sells, carrying less risk for them but potentially delaying payment for you, versus an outright purchase, where the store buys the product up front, offering you immediate revenue but carrying more risk for them. Know which model you prefer or are willing to accept.
As those wholesale orders potentially grow, it sounds like a home kitchen capacity would quickly become a limiting factor, wouldn't it? You can only make so much jam at home.
Exactly. That's when the discussion inevitably shifts back to co-packing and scaling production. You need to judiciously recognize when to transition when your own production capacity is consistently maxed out, or when legal and regulatory requirements, like selling wholesale across state lines, necessitate moving your operations to a certified commercial facility. The benefits are often substantial. Significantly increased production volume, access to specialized professional-grade equipment, and often the ability to meet specific certifications, like organic or gluten-free, that can unlock broader distribution channels. However, there are inherent challenges. The increased cost of co-packing, the critical task of finding the right co-packer that aligns with your quality standards and vision, and ensuring your cherished recipe formulation scales effectively for much larger batches without compromising flavor or texture. That's a big hurdle.
Online sales seem like such a natural and powerful avenue for expanding a product like this, offering incredible reach beyond your local area.
They absolutely are. That brings us to mastering online sales and shipping. You'll need to thoughtfully consider setting up an e-commerce store using user-friendly platforms like Shopify, Etsy, or maybe even your own website builder. Crucially, you must master packaging for shipping, ensuring your delicate glass jars are securely packed to prevent breakage during transit. Think specialized bubble wrap, custom foam inserts, sturdy compartmentalized boxes. Shipping glass is tricky. You'll need to understand specific carrier rules for food, especially differentiating between perishable and shelf-stable items, as this impacts shipping methods and costs. Luckily, most jams are shelf-stable. And finally, you'll need to accurately calculate cost and labeling for interstate sales, factoring in not only shipping costs and packaging materials, but also navigating the complexities of state-specific sales tax collection and potentially different labeling requirements when selling across state lines. Online sales tax is complicated.
I've noticed many successful food businesses leverage seasonal offerings really well. Is that a wise strategy for fruit spreads, creating that limited time buzz?
It's an exceptionally effective one. A well-executed seasonal product strategy and limited edition runs can generate immense excitement and demand. This allows you to cleverly maximize ingredient availability by capitalizing on peak seasonal fruit harvests for special, unique flavors that can only be made at certain times of the year, like maybe a rhubarb spread in spring or spiced apple butter in fall. These limited edition runs brilliantly foster a sense of urgency and exclusivity, encouraging immediate purchases and exciting repeat visits as customers eagerly anticipate your next seasonal offering. What's new this season?
This strategy also lends itself perfectly to drive-in pre-orders as customers clamor to secure that short window special before it sells out. It's amazing how your initial success at the farmer's market can truly serve as the dynamic launchpad for a much broader, more resilient, and ultimately more impactful business. Reaching a wider array of customers and cultivating a diverse, stable income stream, it all starts with that first market stall. Okay, here's where the rubber meets reality and often gets quite interesting. We're talking about how to effectively troubleshoot problems and meticulously plan for contingencies. Because, let's be honest, in the world of outdoor markets and food production, things will inevitably go wrong. It's just part of the deal.
Oh, for sure. Proactive risk management isn't just about saving you a few headaches. It can literally save your entire business sometimes. Anticipating potential problems and having well-thought-out solutions ready is a hallmark of any truly resilient entrepreneur. You got to expect the unexpected.
Let's tackle the most obvious market challenge head-on: the weather. How do you prepare for Mother Nature's unpredictable whims? Rain, wind, crazy heat?
Right. You absolutely need robust weather contingencies, meticulous tent safety, and comprehensive product protection. For inclement weather, have a detailed plan for rain, which includes sidewalls for your tent, a must, waterproof covers or bins for all your products, and maybe even a slightly raised platform or mat to keep things off potentially wet ground. And think about where you'll process payments to keep electronics dry. For strong winds, you must, without exception, have extra tent weights and secure tie-downs for every leg of your canopy. More weight is always better than less. Watch how the veterans do it. In extreme heat, bring ample coolers with ice packs, not just for perishables, but for yourself. Extra shade is possible, like an umbrella attached to your tent. And be prepared to pack up early if temperatures become unsafe for both you and your delicate products. Sometimes you just have to call it. Tent safety also involves regularly inspecting your tent for any signs of damage rips, bent poles before each market. And again, emphasize the absolute importance of always weighing down your tent properly. Don't be that vendor whose tent takes flight. Finally, ensure product protection by consistently keeping jars out of direct sun exposure, shielded from rain or any falling debris, like leaves or bird droppings, to maintain quality and presentation.
Okay, what if you show up to a market and it's just a really slow day with minimal customer traffic? Happens to everyone, right? Feels discouraging.
It does happen.
Oh.
For low sales days, first, try to quickly identify the potential causes. Is it the weather impacting foot traffic? Is market attendance just exceptionally low today? Or maybe is there something about your pricing, presentation, or sampling strategy that isn't quite hitting the mark this time? Then be ready with immediate, in-the-moment tactics. Have a few tricks up your sleeve. This could mean deploying impromptu promotions like a flash sale, 2 jars for $15, to create immediate urgency. Significantly increasing your sampling efforts to draw people to your booth, if rules allow, or quickly creating attractive bundles to stimulate larger sales. Adapt on the fly. Also, use these slower times as an opportunity to engage more deeply and personally with the individual customers who are there. Build those relationships. Tidy your booth. Plan for next week.
And equipment. It inevitably breaks or malfunctions at the most inconvenient times, doesn't it? Card reader dies, tent pole snaps.
Ugh, yes. Equipment failure mitigation is all about having reliable backups and quick fixes. Always have a fully charged backup card reader or an alternative payment method, like Venmo or PayPal QR codes if allowed, ready to go, because a lost sale due to technical glitches is incredibly frustrating and often avoidable. Carry spare tent parts, such as a small repair kit with duct tape, extra bungee cords, maybe zip ties, or even a spare connector for your tent poles. These small pieces can save your entire setup. And robust battery packs are essential for keeping your phone, card reader, and any lighting devices charged throughout a long market day. Don't run out of juice.
We extensively discussed food safety earlier, but what if, despite all your diligent precautions, a potential food safety problem still arises, or someone claims there's a problem?
Yeah, that's where meticulously planned food safety incidents and recall procedures become critically important. You need to be ready. If a genuine food safety concern emerges, you need to act quickly and decisively with a rapid response. Don't panic, but act fast. Immediately activate your predefined recall plan. Precisely identify the affected batches using your badge codes. Promptly notify customers you can reach, maybe through your email list or social media. Contact the relevant health authorities as required, and be transparent and proactive in your public communication. Transparency and swift, competent action are absolutely key to maintaining customer trust and mitigating any potential harm or reputational damage.
What do you do with jars that don't sell by the end of the day, or maybe get slightly damaged or become otherwise unsaleable? You can't just toss them, can you?
Good question. That's a key part of waste reduction: thoughtful leftover handling and strategic donation initiatives. The overarching goal should always be to minimize waste through efficient production planning and careful inventory management in the first place. For leftover handling, you can simply restock unsold jars if they are still in pristine condition and within their shelf life. You can use them for personal consumption or gifting, or thoughtfully explore donation strategies. Partnering with local food banks or shelters to donate safe, excess product, check their requirements first, can not only reduce waste but also serve as a positive public relations opportunity for your brand, demonstrating your commitment to community.
It's so true. Anticipating challenges and having a well-rehearsed plan B, or even a plan C, ensures that market day is never truly a bust. Even if sales are slow or the weather is bad, it keeps your business resilient no matter what curveballs are thrown your way. Okay, let's unpack this final crucial section. Looking beyond the immediate market, beyond next week, and focusing on your long-term vision and developing sustainable operations. This is about building something truly lasting, something that can maybe even leave a legacy, not just be a short-term project.
Exactly. A clear, well-articulated long-term vision isn't just about achieving incremental growth. It's about purposely building a legacy and maximizing your impact, both financially and within your cherished community. Thinking bigger picture.
So once your fruit spread business is established and running smoothly, what are the key performance indicators, the KPIs you should be meticulously tracking to guide your future growth and scale decisions? What numbers really matter long term?
Right, you need to establish insightful KPIs, key performance indicators, to track for growth and scale decisions. Move beyond just looking at top-line revenue to more nuanced and strategic metrics. Consider things like customer acquisition cost, ABC, which tells you how much marketing spend or effort it takes to gain one new customer. Customer lifetime value, CLV, representing the total revenue you can realistically expect from a single customer over their entire relationship with your business. How much are those repeat buyers worth? Your repeat purchase rate, what percentage of customers come back? Production efficiency, perhaps measured as jars produced per hour or cost per batch. Are you getting more efficient? And of course, your crucial net profit margin after everything is paid. Are you becoming more profitable as you scale? Using these robust KPIs allows you to make truly data-driven choices about expanding product lines, when it makes financial sense to hire staff, or when to wisely invest in new equipment rather than relying solely on gut feelings.
And as the business grows, it becomes increasingly difficult, maybe impossible to manage everything yourself indefinitely, right?
That's absolutely right, and it necessitates careful staffing and payroll planning as you grow. You need to judiciously recognize when to hire, when the workload consistently becomes too much for one person or your current small team to handle efficiently and sustainably without burning out. Then, you must understand the complex legal considerations that accompany being an employer. Navigating payroll taxes, securing workers' compensation insurance, understanding wage and hour laws, and drafting proper employment contracts or agreements. It gets serious fast. Finally, develop clear, comprehensive training protocols for new team members to ensure unwavering consistency in product handling, exemplary customer service, and overall brand representation. You need them to be as good as you are.
How can you creatively leverage your established fruit spread brand to do more than just sell jars of jam? How do you extend its reach and impact in other ways?
That's where innovative brand extension strategies come in. You can actively create new revenue streams by building on your existing reputation. Offer attractive gift sets, curated collections of your signature spreads, perhaps thoughtfully paired with complementary local items like artisan crackers, local honey, or gourmet coffee. Make gifting easy. Explore strategic recipe partnerships by collaborating with local chefs, food bloggers, or even culinary influencers to prominently feature your spreads in creative, inspiring recipes, gaining valuable exposure and inspiring customers with new uses. You could even consider offering engaging classes or workshops on jam making, either in person, maybe partner with a local kitchen store, or online, sharing your expertise and building a deeper, interactive community connection around your product and skills.
And as a business grows, there's often a profound desire to give back to the community or be more environmentally mindful, embedding those values deeper.
Absolutely. That ties directly into cultivating sustainability and genuine community engagement. Beyond simply mentioning local ingredients, conduct a deeper local sourcing dive, actively promoting specific partnerships with named local farms, perhaps even featuring their names or stories directly on your labels or website. Build those connections. Explore meaningful charitable partnerships, collaborating with local nonprofits, maybe donating a portion of your sales from a specific flavor to a worthy cause, or providing products for community fundraising events. This significantly strengthens your brand's ethical appeal and deepens community roots. And continuously explore and implement proactive eco-practices throughout your operations, whether it's through sustainable packaging choices like those recycled jars or compostable labels, reducing energy consumption in production, or minimizing waste across your entire supply chain. It's an ongoing process.
It's amazing. Your fruit spread business can truly evolve into much more than just a source of sales. It can become a vibrant, integral part of your community and a powerful testament to sustainable entrepreneurship, leaving a positive and flavorful mark far beyond the farmer's market itself. Okay, wow. We've covered a truly immense amount of ground during this deep dive, offering practical knowledge for every single stage of your fruit spread journey. Now, to bring it all together, let's consolidate everything into an actionable, step-by-step checklist. This will ensure you're absolutely confidently ready for your very first market day, leaving no detail overlooked, like a pre-flight checklist.
Exactly. You've absorbed a wealth of knowledge, and this checklist is designed to help you execute it with precision. It bridges that gap between understanding and confident action, providing a clear guide to stepping into your first market day fully prepared, minimizing that first day anxiety.
All right, let's walk through this ultimate checklist item by item, ensuring you're set for success. First up, the legal stuff.
Okay, for legal setup, is your business registration complete? Sole prop, LLC, DBA, whatever you chose. Is it filed? Do you have your sales tax permit in hand? And do you understand your collection rate and remittance schedule? Have you and anyone helping you obtained your food handler card or equivalent certification? Is your liability insurance secured, paid for, and does the policy specifically name the market as an additional insured? Got that certificate ready?
Next, let's focus on the star of the show, your delicious product, making sure it's perfect and safe.
Right. For product testing, are all your recipes meticulously standardized and documented? No winging it. Have your critical pH levels been accurately checked and carefully documented for every single batch you're bringing? Has the shelf stability of your spreads been definitively confirmed through proper testing and canning methods? Got those seals.
Now, on to how your product looks and how it's protected.
The packaging. Okay, for packaging, have your jars, lids, and tamper-evident seals been purchased in sufficient quantity to cover your projected inventory needs, plus a little extra? Are your labels professionally designed, printed, and ready to apply? Do they include all required legal info, ingredients, weight, contact, allergens, and those crucial batch codes?
Making sure your passion also turns a profit. The money side.
Crucial. For pricing, have you accurately and meticulously calculated your cost per unit for every single flavor you'll be offering? Know your numbers. Are your retail prices strategically set with healthy profit margins? Have you decided on pricing tiers or bundle deals?
Getting ready to stock that inviting booth. Having enough product.
Yep. For production, have you produced a sufficient inventory to comfortably last the entire market day with a little buffer for unexpected demand? Don't sell out in the first hour unless it's a marketing tactic.
Yeah.
Is all your product properly cooled, impeccably labeled, boxed up, and safely prepared for transport to the market?
Your physical presence at the market, your storefront for the day, all the gear.
Okay, the gear check. For booth equipment, do you have your sturdy 10 by 10 tent and critically enough weights, at least 25-50 pounds per leg? Are they secured? Is the tent fire retardant as required? Are your tablecloths clean and floor length? Risers and displays ready to create an inviting, visually appealing setup? Is your signage clear, legible, correctly priced, and a strong reflection of your brand identity? Are your coolers packed for any perishable items or simply to keep your personal drinks and snacks cool? Have you packed all the smaller yet essential items from your checklist? Scales, if needed, sample station supplies, cups, spoons, napkins, mini trash bin, ample hand sanitizer, a larger trash can with bags, plenty of water, sunscreen, and a basic first aid kit. Check every box.
Ensuring you can seamlessly accept payments, don't lose sales here.
Right. For payment setup, is your card reader fully charged and thoroughly tested? Did you run a test transaction maybe? Do you have a reliable backup plan, extra reader, other payment methods? Do you have a secure cash box stocked with sufficient change for the day's expected cash sales? Lots of ones, fives, and quarters.
Spreading the word and building buzz before and during the market.
Yes, for marketing. Are your banners ready and designed for prominent display at your booth? Easy to hang. Have you made engaging social media announcements about your market appearance and what you'll be offering? Maybe highlight a special. Is your email list, sign-up sheet, or digital tablet prepared and easily accessible to efficiently capture new customer leads?
And for your absolute peace of mind, practice makes perfect.
Do a test run. Mentally, or even better, physically in your backyard, walk through your entire booth setup and breakdown process. Does everything fit efficiently in your car? Can it be set up and taken down smoothly by you or your team? Time yourself, maybe.
And for your own personal well-being on what will be a busy, likely tiring market day, don't forget you.
Please don't. For your market day kit, are your personal essentials packed? Think ample water, nourishing snacks you'll forget to eat. A comfortable chair? A must. Sunscreen, hat, weather-appropriate clothing, layers, maybe some hand lotion.
Finally, what crucial steps do you take once the market day concludes? The work isn't over when you pack up. So true. For post-market actions, have a clear plan for your thorough inventory count, what's sold, what's left, your detailed sales reconciliation, matching cash card totals to your records and bank deposits, and an initial review of any customer feedback or interesting conversations you had throughout the day. Jot down notes. This comprehensive guide really gives you the unparalleled peace of mind that you've meticulously thought of absolutely everything. It empowers you to confidently focus on genuinely connecting with your customers and passionately sharing your amazing fruit spreads on that first big day. Wow, that was a truly expansive deep dive into every facet of selling fruit spreads at farmers markets. From setting your initial powerful vision to meticulously navigating complex regulations, designing captivating packaging, rigorously crunching the numbers, and even planning for robust long-term growth and gracefully handling unexpected hurdles.
Yeah.
We've genuinely covered every single detail, haven't we?
We really have. And it's abundantly clear that success in this delicious venture isn't merely about making an exquisite product, though that is, of course, absolutely essential. It's about meticulous planning, a profound understanding of your market, and an unwavering commitment to both uncompromising quality and absolute compliance at every single step of your journey. It takes both art and science.
So, what does this all mean for you, our dedicated listener? We sincerely hope this deep dive has armed you with the practical knowledge, the actionable insights, and the unwavering confidence to either boldly launch your own fruit spread business, or, at the very least, to deeply appreciate the incredible effort, passion, and thoughtfulness that goes into every single jar you purchase from a local artisan at your market. As you reflect on all these crucial steps, maybe mull over this provocative thought. What unique story will your fruit spreads tell about your local community or your personal culinary passion? And how will that authentic story become your single most compelling selling point at the market, making your jars truly irresistible?
Thank you so much for joining us for this incredibly detailed exploration. Keep learning, keep growing, and perhaps keep spreading the deliciousness out there.